I think I'll move to the other part of the presentation about the Muslim Brotherhood. This is a much more complicated issue because it doesn't deal with the state, it deals with the culture. And this is much deeper than a state like Syria. Muslim Brotherhood, we find today organizations which bear this name or names which came out from this name in many, many states in the world, including Europe and Africa, Egypt, of course, Tunisia, Morocco, even in Israel. We have 2 Muslim Brotherhood organizations. After all, this is democracy. Jordan, Syria, of course, Lebanon, Iraq, many places have organizations and parties which are directed by the light of the Muslim Brotherhood. This organization started in 1927 or 28, there is debate, in order to implement 3 objectives. One is to get rid of the foreign occupation. In Egypt of 28, it was the British occupation. In Syria, it was the French occupation. In other places, other occupations. However, according to the Muslim Brotherhood, any Arab ruler or Islamic ruler who does not implement the Sharia can be very easily depicted as foreign occupation because he is an agent of the West or the East, Russia or United States. And this is why he, even if his name is Gamal Abdel Nasser in Egypt, he is actually a foreign occupation. So first of all, the Muslim Brotherhood want to get rid of the foreign occupation, whether it's British or Gamal Abdel Nasser. Secondly, they want to get rid of the culture of the occupation, which was enforced on us usually. Mainly unveiling women, mainly introducing alcohol to the menus in the restaurants, and maybe operas and movie theaters, and all these characteristics of the Western culture which infiltrated into our society to corrupt our girls, our men, our boys, our next generation, in order to westernize them by all these magnetic devices like media, like what people wear, what they don't wear, and what they eat. The Muslim Brotherhood are against this, against the Western culture, which infiltrated and undermines the value system of those countries, especially when it comes to questions of gender, family, and sex. This is the second agenda, which is not easy, because there are many people inside those societies who are enchanted by the West and all these freedoms which it grants, especially to women. This is why the struggle between the Muslim Brotherhood and the westernized sectors in Arab societies is not an easy battle. The third component of the Muslim Brotherhood is, after the accomplishment of getting rid of the Western occupation and the Western culture, to implement the Sharia as the law of the state, and maybe to re-establish the caliphate which they still dream about since the 7th century. Please air the first clip.
رأينا حلم الخلافة الإسلامية، حلم أرض الخلافة يتحقق بإذن الله على يد الدكتور محمد مرسي ومن معه من إخوانه وجماعته وحزبه. رأينا الحلم الكبير الذي نحلم به جميعا، الولايات المتحدة العربية. الولايات المتحدة العربية ستعود إن شاء الله، ستعود الولايات المتحدة العربية على يد هذا الرجل ومن معه إن شاء الله. ستكون عاصمة الخلافة، ستكون عاصمة الولايات المتحدة العربية هي القدس إن شاء الله.
بكرة مرسي حرر غزة. أنا مصر بكل عزة. بكرة مرسي حرر غزة. 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 تكبير تكبير تكبير.
ستكون عاصمتنا ليست القاهرة ولا مكة ولا المدينة، وإنما القدس إن شاء الله. وسيكون هتافنا على القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين. على القدس رايحين
شهداء بالملايين.
رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس.
رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس. رايحين شهداء بالملايين على القدس. من عيون كل اليهود طيار النعاس. يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس. من عيون كل اليهود. يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس. من عيون كل اليهود طيار النعاس. يلا يا عشاق الشهداء كلكم حماس.
The whole Muslim Brotherhood folded in 5 minutes of a clip. First of all, United Arab States. They blamed the West for fragmenting the Islamic world, which today expands from Indonesia in the east all the way originally to Morocco. Maybe now they count also America and Europe in the Islamic world. So inshallah, the whole world, the Islamic world will be unified, of course, under the aegis of the Muslim Brotherhood. And this is in one of the campaign meetings of Mohammed Morsi, the candidate of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, only a month and a half ago. So this is actually what they talk about. However, what I wanted you to, what you saw actually, is how they base on Jerusalem as some kind of the capital of the Islamic future United States, which is rather new message. What the heck do they have in Jerusalem? And this is rather new, I must say. When I saw this, I started to look at what they say. It is a new message by the Muslim Brotherhood that now not Mecca, not Medina is their goal. After all, they have it already. Now Jerusalem is their target. Why and how Jerusalem became such an issue for the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt? This is very puzzling. However, if we look into the issue of Jerusalem in Islam, as demonstrated in this Muslim Brotherhood clip, we cannot escape the feeling that the Jewish entity in Israel, with its capital Jerusalem, is much more than a problem, a territorial problem, or political problem, or even problem connected to real estate. This is something much deeper, which goes down to the fundamental issues of Islam. Islam, in its own view, came to the world not to live side by side with Judaism and Christianity. It rather came to the world to replace them, to hire them, to take everything which Judaism and Christianity might have had once and to build itself by the ruins of Judaism and Christianity. The theory of replacement in its Islamic version. By this idea, Islam tries to establish its legitimacy and validity by nullifying the legitimacy and validity of the religions which preceded it. Thus, Abraham and Isaac, and formerly Adam and Noah, and Jacob and David and Solomon and Jesus and Johannes all were Muslims. Because inna dina inda Allah al-Islam, religion at Allah's is only Islam. Allah doesn't know any other religion. Allah doesn't recognize any other religion. So if someone like Adam, like Abraham, like Jesus, believed in one God, what else could he be if not a Muslim? Since Islam is the only religion at Allah's. So this way, after they occupied, those Bedouins who came out from the Arab Peninsula in the 7th century, after they occupied the geography of the Middle East, they occupied the history of the Middle East and the theology of the Middle East. Judaism is void. Jews can live as Ahl Dhimma, Dhimmis, second-class citizens under Islamic rule with restrictions, as long as they obey the restrictions. All of a sudden, during the 20th century, some historic road accidents happened when Jews started an influx to their former land, which once they had, Philistine. They occupied it in 1948. They established a state, an independent state. Since when Jews have the right to be independent? After all, they have to be subjugated to Islam. And in 1967, they dared to occupy Jerusalem. What will be their next step? Evidently, they will try to build the third temple. And this way, Judaism will come back, Allah forbid, to life, after it was nullified by Islam. So Muslims cannot fathom this fact, because it actually is against the basic issue of Islam, which came to the world to replace Judaism, to nullify Judaism. The return of Jews to Eretz Israel, the return of Jews to Jerusalem, and Allah forbid, the building of the temple is a theologic threat on Islam before it is anything connected to land or to real estate or whatever, or to national interests as well. It is a theologic threat on Islam. And what he says is actually this, that we are going to occupy Jerusalem, and we are going to make sure that Jews will never take it by putting our capital in Jerusalem, so Judaism will never come to life again. This is actually what he says in other words. But this is the interpretation, the only interpretation of what he is saying in this issue. So the Muslim Brotherhood is not about only the British and the French and maybe even the Israelis as occupation. It is about theology, which religion, according to their discourse, is Din al-Haq, means the religion of truth, which is Islam, of course, and which religion is the Din al-Batil, means the religion of void, Batil, which is Judaism, and all the others. The battle is about the righteousness of Islam or the invalidity of Islam, as those already who listened to Muhammad in the beginning of Islam accused him that the whole Islam is only recycling of stories of the former ones, asatir al-awwalin. So since then, Islam is an obsession to establish its validity by undermining the validity of other religions. And this is actually what we saw in this clip. Unfortunately, Muslims have money, mainly because of the oil, especially in the Gulf. And the Gulf money is translated all over the world to propaganda against Jews, mainly. It is under the cover of propaganda against Israel.